Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Bird the Nerd with another video game market report for y'all today. This is the week before Christmas. I'll do one more, I think, on Tuesday, Christmas Eve, just for fun. But do appreciate everyone's support throughout the year and a half. Do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to all your friends about these video game market reports. Also do the comic book reports every week as well. And without further ado, let's get into it. Bunch of, again, really cool ideas, I guess, incentives, some not mystery boxes, but collector boxes I was like looking into for some pretty well-known properties that you guys probably all know about pretty well. Yeah, let's get into this report real quick. So I just, it's really interesting to like think about, what to collect for the long term. And there's, it's always like the hobbies like to get the hot item that probably won't make it past like a couple years or so, sell it, and then fund your next project or your next collectible. And that's kind of the idea I have with this one, and going forward, that's kind of my consensus here. There's a couple here though that might take a little bit of time to come to fruition, but we'll just take a look at the market and see how we do. First up, I've talked about this many times, but I just put it on notice just because it's at $800 right now. It's Breath of the Wild, the Master Edition. This comes with a bunch of stuff. There's a shield. There's a mini sword in it. A lot of people opened up these collector boxes and played with them and all. But $800 for a sealed version. I don't know if it grades out at an 85 or 90, which I'm hoping it will. But this is the grail, in my opinion, of all Switch games. I don't know how long the Switch is going to last, like the original one. It probably has a couple years to go until the next Nintendo system is out, but arguably the best Zelda game ever, according to some people. I'm not entirely sold on that, but definitely is I would say this next generation's Zelda game for sure. So very fun to play. Next up, Metal Gear Solid Sons of Liberty. This is probably my second favorite Metal Gear Solid game, to the PS3 version, Metal Gear Solid 4. $200 for a sealed version of this game, 9.0 WADA. The figures that this goes for, about like $400. That's really good money, I feel. There's a lot of stuff going for this. If you think about it in the comic book realm, with the movie, with the other collectibles in it, it's always going to be a sought out game to play. The unfortunate thing about this is, the licensing, there's not going to be another Metal Gear Solid until that gets figured out. But until then, this is still a really well thought of collector's piece. It's one of the best PlayStation games. If you can argue that this put PlayStation on the map per se. But Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. This is my long-term buy. I mentioned in the beginning of this episode that I was thinking about long-term buys in specific video games, but John Wick Hex, this is $20 right now. I feel like this was one of those games that was made for, the kids console that's for adults. So you kind of have those two things going for it. $20 is still like a really slow buy-in for a very well-known franchise. I don't know if you get Keanu Reeves to autograph this, but that'd be pretty cool. And, the John Wick, it's a rewatchable movie, and the other mediums like the comic book do pretty well as well. So it makes sense to pay $20 for a video game in general. Maybe you can hop up on a Whatnot show, get this sealed for cheap. Another Switch game here. We're going pretty heavy in Switch this week. Final Fantasy Collection. This consistently sells for $70. I think it's pretty crazy that it sells for that much. It's a reprint of 6 different games, but it makes sense from a value standpoint where I think the Final Fantasy games do really well on the portable Switch. If they had number 7 on here, though, it'd be a game changer. It'd definitely be in my wheelhouse. But I just think it's a really good idea. It presents really well if you're collecting it, and there aren't any graded sales for this. So again, I think this is like, I wouldn't say a marquee, but as far as reprints go, I'm definitely a buyer of this for this particular medium. Celeste limited run games version. This came out a few years ago, 2018. So 6 years old here. $60 for this holofoil cover, which I think is pretty cool. There's a different version of this, so make sure you're looking for the limited run version of this game. From what I've read, this was a pretty popular game that came out when the Switch came out initially. It's more Japanese anime. Anime is just getting hotter and hotter as the days go by. But this limited run definitely is geared towards collectors. And I don't think it's artificial demand or artificial collectability. I think they do a really good job with their physical games that they put out, the versions, and the art's really cool. So I don't know. I'm putting this on my watch list. $60 is like the MSRP basically, but you get one for $40, or if we watch the market for the next couple of years on this particular game, it might stay there, and you could be first to market to grade this and get a 9.8 and sell and see what the market says. So we're about halfway through the show. I just want to say again, thanks everyone. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that stuff to everyone watching the show today. Do me a favor again, hit that like button. It takes about 2 seconds to do it. Helps with the algo, helps me want to do these shows more often. And join the Discord. The Discord is in the link. I put out as much about flipping, investing in video games, market prices consistently. We're at 116 members as of right now. We're doing a giveaway with 120. So the quicker we get there, the quicker I can give away this stuff. And I'll put the link in the bio as well. Gears of War number 4. I don't know why I picked this one in particular. I think it's because of an Xbox One version of this game. But Gears of War is coming out with a brand new show or movie. I can't remember exactly what it is. And when I think of Halo, I think this is kind of like the successor to Halo, Gears of War. $24.99 to $30 for most copies. Sealed, that is. Again, this is your whatnot opportunity to buy this game for like $18, stow it away. Maybe it works out. If it doesn't, you could sell it for the same price. This is kind of what we're thinking about here. But Whatnot's a great medium to look at sniping, sealed copies of games or like CIB. I'm generally like in the newer stuff. I'm not going CIB. I think the furthest I'll go is like PS3 as far as sealed or CIB. And you want a rare game, but like definitely Gears of War for $24.99 for a sealed copy of this. I don't think that's bad at all. And that's eBay prices there. So Red Dead Redemption, talking about this game, I've talked about it a lot of times. Marcus has actually referred to this game. I think this has a lot of potential. It just seems that it makes sense to make this into a TV show. It's a Western, it's guns, it's a good story. It's basically Grand Theft Auto in spaghetti Western, essentially. Red Dead Redemption is kind of the present day video game. Red Dead Redemption 2 is the prequel, if you will. Some people say Red Dead Redemption 2 is better, but from the prices I've seen, Red Dead Redemption, the original one, goes for more, obviously because it's the first one. $200 for a 9.8 for the second version, PS4. And oddly enough, there's a bundle box that goes for about $510. I don't know if it was an EA, like Electronic Arts, or not Electronic Arts, GameStop exclusive, but I thought it was pretty cool to see like a collector's item for this game. And I mean, this is one of the best selling games ever for the PlayStation 4. So it makes sense. And then last but not least, one of my favorite strategy games of all time, if not the most favorite strategy game of all time, Civilization, I think 7 is coming out this March. And with the onset of digital and the onset of nostalgia, I think Civilization 2 is not a bad investment long-term. $50 for a sealed copy of that, which is crazy. There is like, I remember back in the day when they used to like combine games that had nothing to do with each other into one kind of set at like Costco. And it was kind of cool. I saw a graded version of this game with another one that was like in that Costco bin. It was like flip-flopped, like $200. And I thought, wow, what a cool double nostalgia. Costco pack, Civilization 2, random game attached to it for $200. And I thought it was really cool. So anyway, that's your report for this week. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. And keep on specking, man. It's fun stuff. Take care.